What's up, everybody? Those that don't know, my name is Joey. Most people know me by Snowroc. So today I wanted to talk about Donovan. Everybody heard about Donovan prison is in San Diego. So if you're from San Diego, you've heard of it somehow, some way. You knew somebody that worked there, knew somebody that been there, might have been there yourself. And that's the thing, for people that don't know, I spent over 20 years of my life in California prison. And I spent like 8 in Donovan. More than that, if you count, what I'm saying? Each time you go through, that was the reception. So when you first go from county jail to prison, they take you to a reception center so that you can get classified and they can figure out where you need to go. Like some people are level 1, minimum security. They don't need to be in a level 4 with, all violent offenders. So it's just a ranking system that goes by how much time you have, how much criminal history you have, and everything, a lot of stuff. But so they have different levels. And Donovan has the reception center. So when you first go there, you go to that yard, and that gives you a chance to figure out, okay, this person should be over here. This person got life. He's going to be in level 4. This person, he's, he's going to be a level 1, his first termer, young guy, we can send him to fire camp. They figure out where people are going to need to go. So I was active. I was gang banging. I was, involved in a lot of a lot of BS because of that. And that was, that was by choice. I chose that. And by going into prison as a white boy, telling the other whites that, oh, I'm a Crip. That didn't, go over too well. Let's just say that. But out of all the prison time I did, Donovan was the best time, because it was home. It was everybody knew me. And I think a lot of me surviving all the stuff I had to go through in prison was partially because of how the system is set up. And I was in situations where there was a lot of black officers. So a lot of administration was black, and I remember several times it was this one. Who is it? It's not the captain. It's above the captain, program administrator of the whole facility, who was saying, look, you don't fear for your safety. No, you want to go back? Yep, send him back. You know, and that kept me. I did some years in level 4, and it was it was rough. And at the time I was getting into stuff with the Nazi lowriders. So they was active. They was trying to make a name for themselves, and they was trying to do it, and it didn't work out too well with me. Anyway, long story short, I got stabbed on 2 different occasions. The first time I got stabbed, I got what, 6 stitches behind my ear, and the second time I got like a ice pick, and it hit me in the neck and the back, and it went in. It was a trip because I'm going to the hole, so I knocked the dude out, and the way it happened, it was crazy because I was walking back from chow, and the whites, got open invitation. Anybody 1-on-1, you can come and get it, but they know, I got hands. I'd have put hands on a few people. I'd have been on this yard a while, so they know. You ain't fist, you ain't fist get snow with no bullshit. And so I was walking back from chow, and the dude I was walking with, it was crazy because he just disappeared. And that's how it goes. Hey, that's how it goes. So anyway, the dude came up and he hit me in the neck, and like twice, right? So I turn around, and square him off. So now I see the knife in his hand. It's like a piece of the kitchen rack, a straight piece of metal sharpened to a point with a, cloth handle put on it. So I see the knife in his hand and got blood on it. So I don't know how bad, none of that. You know what I mean? So I'm like turning him so that the police in the tower can see, this dude got a knife, because they had just changed the laws. There was a new thing. There was a thing going on in California prisons. They were saying that they can't shoot you and kill you unless they have a weapon. You know what I mean? If there's no weapon, you didn't have to kill that man. You understand? So they're saying, they're not going to shoot unless the new policy is you can't shoot unless there's a weapon. So I'm turning him so that, the tower, hey, yeah, look at this knife in this dude's hand. And the dude in the tower, you know what I'm saying, gets on the PA system and says, y'all in front of 3 buildings, stop horse playing. I'm like, man, damn. So, you know what I mean? I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? You know what I mean? So I flinch at him and I do like that and he swings the knife. When he swings the knife, I have an opportunity and bing, bing, and he's out. So when he goes down on the ground, I don't think about grabbing a knife. All this, you know what I'm saying? This is just the way it happens. When he goes down on the ground, I'm on top of him. I'm just beating him. Now I'm like sitting on his chest, just beating his face. And then the police tackle me. So when the police tackle me, I already know if you I've been stabbed. I seen blood on a knife. I know he hit me from behind. I don't know how bad it is. I don't know if I'm gonna live, die, and none of that. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean. If you tell the officer that you can't breathe, they give you immediate medical attention because they'll leave you out there. I seen them leave a man out there that got shot in the leg in Corcoran. He got shot in the leg, and the dude, the police let him bleed to death right there on the yard. It was bad. But that's the way it was, in the 90s in prison. Ask somebody. Don't go by what I say. I'm just here telling you a story. Okay, so Donovan was like the yard I was on, like I said, it was a reception center. So the 1 yard was just for reception. And then there's 3 other level 3 yards on the facility. One is the 1 yard, the 2 yard, and the 3 yard. The 4 yard is the reception yard. There's also a 5 yard, but that's the level 1. That's outside the gate. So that's the level 1 facility they clean up outside the prison. So that's the 5 yard. So I was on the 3 yard for most of my time. When I wasn't in reception. When I came down from level 4, I came down from Lancaster, and I got sent to Donovan because they were the administration. Again, I say that's partially how, I'm saying, I survived in prison because a lot of the staff was, I'm saying, black. And, I'm saying, kind of, I'm saying, look out for your boy. I'm saying? I'm not saying all of them. I done had police, I'm saying, find me guilty just because I was a white crip. It didn't matter, what I mean? Because I had a lieutenant in my 115 here and tell me I'm a disgrace to his race. And I ought to be ashamed of myself. It's, what I mean? Hey, people, I'm saying, you entitled to your own opinion, what I mean? But miss me, I'm cool. I'm cool because I'm cool with who I am. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so Donovan was the level 3. It had I believe 4 PIAs. PIAs are high paying prison jobs. So this yard had all the money on it, and that's the yard I was on. They also had the Amity program. And so, what I'm saying, I'm literally thinking about, what I'm saying, okay, I see light at the end of the tunnel, because when I was in level 4, I really didn't, what I'm saying, think I was going to survive. I figured the white boys was going to kill me eventually, they're going to get me eventually, and I'm still here and I'm seeing light at the end of the tunnel. I'm at Donovan. I'm at level 3. It's not level 4 no more. Level 4 was rough, what I mean, and I got to Donovan. Donovan was like Candyland. And I just, what I'm saying, stepped off Alcatraz. So I'm on point, on guard, and the homie's like, man, kick back. What I'm saying? Kick back. You good. What I mean? And I'm seeing how everything is. It's crazy. I'm, what I'm saying, way out of my element because level 4, you have to be ready for whatever, whenever, what I'm saying, when it's time to go, what I mean, and when you lose focus, that's when you can die. And I can only speak from my perspective. The way I see it is when I caught all that time, I figured eventually, I'm saying, the white boys was going to get me, you know, uh, but I just wasn't going to give up. I wasn't going to change up. I wasn't going to switch up. So, I'm going to just keep pushing until, I'm saying, that one day, I'm saying, if they ever give me in, I'm saying, if they get me, it's going to be a fight. It ain't, I'm not giving up nothing. So it was messed up because the mental game is what I have problems with today because I always see things way farther or way beyond what they are. I just see what they could be, and it's still, I'm saying, I still have problems around crowds of people. I can't be, I'm saying, white people. That's crazy. But I'm saying, and I ain't never had a reason, I'm saying, out here to feel that way because, the people I surround myself are, I'm saying, friends, family, loved ones, and I'm saying, my folks. So, but like I said, I get in position. I done tried to go to functions, man. I get freaked out. Too many people, have panic attacks. And, when I first got out, I went through recovery, and was learning, had to learn about all this stuff, and I've been diagnosed with PTSD. I I'm constantly working on self. I'm trying to better myself every day. It's still a struggle. It's still things that I deal with, but can't stop, won't stop. You know what I mean? I'm living my best life. I'm out here. I'm out here doing the most. This is the best I've ever been doing. I'm I'm working on. Getting things together and trying to do more. I'm gonna be doing more outside stuff. Shoulders getting better, so I got to start doing my physical therapy, getting out and about. But I'll give you a bar of that, let you guys see what's going on. So back to Donovan, man. Donovan, like I said, was a reception center, and the yard I was on had a lot of money because of PIA. Every other yard, it was something different, because the one yard was known as the crazy people yard because they had the EOP, the extreme outpatient program, and they had the triple CMS and the triple. These are the people that are have on medication. So there's two buildings for them, and then there's overflow, and so the one yard doesn't really have a lot of PIA, or I don't think they had any. I know the 2 yard they had the PIA bakery, and that was it. The bakery was fire because Donovan was known for the cinnamon rolls and them and the coffee cake. That was my favorite. But we had bomb bread. Fresh. Cake and all kinds of stuff. It was a lot of good things. About Donovan, aside from being locked in a cage, aside from being a slave to California, aside from being a number. Nah, Donovan, like I said, we made the best out of what we was working with. Donovan was the best time I did. I got another episode of The Yard coming up with the homie Rassick. Be expecting that one coming soon. Yeah, But uh, my one of my favorite things about Donovan was it's in San Diego, so this is home. You can get on the phone and call, hey, come up here and visit me. I had people surprise me. My family, my real, my auntie that raised me and her son, and he brought his daughter up one year. It was crazy. Vita, I love you. But yeah, my cousin, Aunt Carol and Vincent, and Vince brought Vita. This was back when she was a little girl. I hadn't seen her. I had been locked in the cage, and I hadn't seen her since she was a little like 5, I think 4 or 5. And now she was 16. She had already took it, was heading to college and doing, the most. I'm so proud of her. She is doing so well. I love you, Vita. Keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, but they came to visit me out of the blue, and it's like, that don't happen. Usually, when you're in prison, you're hundreds of miles, sometimes thousands of miles away from your family. And that's the thing. People put in hardships. They put in. I was trying to get one the whole time I was in there. They didn't get it. I guess for some people, but like I said, I was active in gang banging, so them trying to honor. So for me, nah. But Donovan was home. Because even like I'm from San Diego. So now Donovan had all the PIA, the yard that I was on, the 3 yard, and it had all the PIA. Had 4 different PIA facilities. So those are jobs where inmates can make pretty, decent money. It's not decent, it's pennies, but you make some money. So whenever there's money available, then there needs to be party favors, and people know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So how do you get those party favors? By any means necessary. There's been, it's ridiculous how many ways I've accumulated of how to find a way through the bullshit to get in. I've done some crazy things. Yeah, if you haven't heard of the prison wallet, that's one main way. But there's, one time, there was a situation where I was in PIA, and there was a clerk in PIA, and he actually, let it slip to me that he had access to the mail. So they give him mail to send out, return mail. They give it to him to take back. So okay, I mean, so if he doesn't drop it off, then don't nobody know because they're not doing their job. So when I found this out, I'm like, well, let's see if we can make something happen. So look, one of the one of their free staff. These are the free men that work in prison. Now, I worked in a textile mill, so the free staff were all Indian. They were all from India, and this is, I guess, where they learned a trade. And they were, working. They were over here now, so they were working in the prison. So one of them moved on. He don't work here anymore. So I told the dude, look, I'm gonna have something sent to him, and when they give it to you, if it has this marking on it, then put it aside and I'll get it. You know, and he has to come through my job to get out every day when he leaves. When he comes to work, he comes in. When he goes out, you have to go through the textile mill. So after this, finally, I did some wrangling and made some stuff happen and had it dropped off in the mail. Let's see what happens. What you got to lose, right? Man, this dude told me he got it. I'm so excited. We own, right? You know what I mean? Because I put a lot in this package. And he's telling me he got it, but it's hot. He can't bring it back right now. They're watching him. Ain't nobody watching you, scary ass. So now, I'm like, man, this dude, okay. So the next day, same thing. He's scared. He's a square dude. He's a clerk. He's not built for this life. I don't know what his crime was, but this it got to the point. I think it was like the fourth day. I pulled a knife, not a knife. I have scissors, big giant scissors, and I showed the dude the scissors. Like, man, look here. You know what I mean? You either gonna bring my package tomorrow, or when you come through here, it's me and you. And so this dude is scared now. You know what I mean? So he's avoiding me. And then okay. So the next day he comes through and he dropped it off. He quickly, threw it over to me and kept on going. Didn't want to talk or nothing. Man, the dude quit the job. Quit the job. It was man, I was so disappointed. Cause this was the perfect way to get lots of stuff in. Lots of stuff. In this package, all I had was a half pound of weed. So I'm kind of rich right now. But I would keep it in the textile mill, stashed in there. And then whenever I need, hey, and you can manipulate a lot of people with drugs. I learned that a long time ago. So uh, a lot of people are addicted to something, one thing or another. Everybody has their own vices, whatever it is, whatever that is. If you let me find that out, I will. I'm gonna have to do what I have to do because I'm, like I said, I'm trying to survive. I'm dealing with, I know that certain, organizations got hits out on me. I'm knowing that, people have tried to kill me before. I know, well, in Donovan, like, to stay at Donovan all the time I did, because the whites would drop kites and say, oh yeah, if somebody's gonna stab this guy. And then I would go out and go talk to the shot caller and tell him, look, man, me and you could deal with this right now. No, no, no. He didn't want that. You know what I mean? And it was so bad. That happened so many times. And I'm not here bragging. I'm a tough guy or none of that. But like I said, I'm here to survive. So if you were, putting yourself in, like, you were going to do something to me, then yeah, you might be in trouble. Because I had a lot of people. Even whites. There was a lot of times that the whites would have some plan that we didn't know. I didn't know nothing about, and they would tell one of the homies. You know what I mean? I'll get off work and find out that the homies done went and checked the white boys. Because they done heard that somebody was going to do something to Snow. So now they're, what you want to do? And, the whites are like, nah, 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 and then the whites, would roll up their own people, and look, man, you got to go. But for the most part, I know what it was. A lot of the guys that were supposed to be the hitters, supposed to hit me, came over to the yard and got a sack, started hitting a vein or the nose or however they got it in there. And once that, that drug is going to take over and you're just going to follow that sack. And then they're just going to be a crash dummy on the yard, until, it's time for them to fizzle out because now you're done. And it was so bad, I don't brag, because a whole bunch of white boys went in the hat. because they wouldn't do nothing to Snowroc. And you know what I'm saying? I appreciate it because I survived. I'm still here. I'm still going. I'm grateful, blessed, thankful. you know, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. I'm still here. I'm thankful. So check this out. Hit that subscribe, hit that like, hit that share, and tell somebody. You might want to share this with somebody. You know what I mean? If not, share with me. It helps my channel out. Thanks.